Hey everyone. Alright, so last night I got to sit down and watch the new Pierce Brosnan movie, IT. I picked up the DVD while I was shopping, and it had been something one I'd heard about some time ago through Pierce Brosnan's social media accounts. Like he'd shared some uh, production stills, behind the scenes photos and things like that. But that was a little over a year ago now, so I'd been waiting for it. Um, and it sounds like a cool premise, it's essentially like a home invasion thriller type thing, but they've updated it and give it like a new high tech edge to it. Um, yeah, so I've been waiting and waiting, and it's only just come out on DVD over here in the UK. I think it came out at the beginning of the year. Oh no, it was the back end of last year in the US. And I'd looked on the Amazon US to see some of the reviews of it, and admittedly, there were mixed reviews. Some good, some bad, you know. So I was unsure how it was gonna be, I was just happy to see it because Pierce Brosnan's in, because I love seeing Pierce Brosnan in movies. So I was still looking forward to seeing it. And I basically had the mindset that if it's as good as like Survivor, a movie he did a couple of years back. It was generic and by the numbers, but he was the best thing about it, and it was fairly entertaining popcorn flick. That's all you need. Um, so even if it was just like that, I'd have still been pleased. Um, so yeah, there was that, and then there was another thing that kind of unsettled me. The director of this movie is a guy called John Moore, and if you don't know who that is, the DVD cover happily tells you, as it proudly proclaims, from the director of A Good Day to Die Hard. That set alarm bells off ringing, because Die Hard 5 I think is absolutely atrocious. But I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stay positive. Even if he brings what he brought to Die Hard 5 to this movie, the one good thing we've got with this movie that Die Hard 5 didn't have is, at least with this one, IT, we've got a lead actor in Pierce Brosnan who still actually cares about the films he makes, whereas of course Bruce Willis stopped caring some time ago. Um, so yeah, I was undecided going into this, but trying to remain positive. So IT, a thriller home invasion with this high tech edge to it. This was a surprise. It was. I was surprised actually how good this was. This was really good. It it is. I mean, all in all honesty, it's not a great movie, um, but it's a really decent, solid thriller. I mean, in terms of the plot, if you've seen like home invasion movies before, it follows the beats, So it's by the numbers in that sense. Uh, Basically, Pierce Brosnan is a CEO at this company. It's like an airline company, and this guy is brought in as like one of the new IT guys, one of the new tech guys for the company, and catches Pierce Brosnan's eye with the things he's able to do. He's like one of the best. He's even outshining like the heads of the IT department with some of the stuff he's able to do. So he makes an impression. So he gets friendly with Pierce Brosnan, and Pierce Brosnan says to him, well, back at the house, we need some tune-ups doing, like on the Wi-Fi, and we've got quite a few new devices installed. Like his home is almost entirely like a smart home, you could say. You know, all the different features. It's all like internet ran and electronics. So he invites the guy over at the weekend to basically work on the Wi-Fi and just tune up everything around the house. Um, so it's going well, but then things start to take a turn because what this guy does, the character's name is, I think it's Ed Porter. What he does, he makes the mistake of setting his sights on Pierce Brosnan's daughter. Uh, his 17-year-old daughter. I think they say at one point, like, there's like an 11-year age gap between the two. So like he's 28, Pierce Brosnan's daughter's 17, still at school, high school. So he sets his sights on her and starts to make a move. Like he adds her on his social media, you know. Comes to see her play hockey. Even gives her a ride home from school. He like finds out what school she goes to, and he's there waiting for her when she comes out one day. So of course Pierce Brosnan, we've got to cut ties. This, you know, well, like any dad would, you know, you've got a 17-year-old daughter. There's a 28-year-old guy hitting on her. Alarm bells are gonna sound. You're gonna see red. So yeah, Pierce Brosnan, he tries to like set the boundaries, and things, escalate and escalate, and it ends up with Pierce Brosnan deciding, you know what, you're fired. I've given you more than enough, a warning. I've been more than fair. So you know what, you're done. You won't take a hint. You're done. So that is when things have been building up, but this is when things, after Pierce Brosnan fires him, then things go to the next level. So then we go into the more sinister stuff, and this guy's able to hack into all like the apps and electronic devices around the house, and he's able to like disrupt, like he's able to take control of like the sound system and the lights, and even like the water in like the taps in the bathroom and in around the house, all stuff like that. Um, so yeah, it's really like a new take on the home invasion stuff, obviously to fit in like with this modern setting. You go back to something like Unlawful Entry with Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta. Of course, that is a much better film than this one. But if that's like the classic sense, well, like with the actual physical invasion of the home, you contrast it with something like this, where it's the more like not tech invasion of the home, where someone actually hacks into your home system. Um, I mean, some of the stuff they do get quite creative, and I mean, yeah, it is over the top. It does get over the top, but it's fun. It's fine. Um, One of the things I really want to say though, in the time since A Good Day to Die Hard, it seems as though John Moore has gone away and he's learnt how to make a movie. This is miles above what Die Hard 5 was. Because in this, he actually does display some sense of style. There's some really good stylistic moments in this. Uh, of course, one of the things that this has over Die Hard 5 is, well, you can actually follow the plot and tell what's going on in this movie. Uh, the things characters do make sense. Um, yeah, so you can actually follow the story. You're not just sitting there while a bunch of random events takes place. Um, I tell you what, it's kind of a disgrace that this is direct to DVD, but Die Hard 5 got a wide theatrical release. That makes sense, I guess. But yeah, he did a really good job with this, and there's some legitimately tense moments. Um, But yeah, things do escalate, and uh, even what this guy Ed Porter does, it's not just hacking into the home. He's able to like access like private records, and even just like cause just entire disruption, and misery for not just Pierce Brosnan but his wife and his daughter as well. So of course things come to a head as the do typically in these home invasion movies, and there's a really solid, really cool climax to this movie. Of course, this is a thriller. There's bits of action. Of course, there's a good action set piece at the end, but it's mainly thriller based. But what action there is in this is better than anything in A Good Day to Die Hard. This is the thing. John Moore apparently found out or learned how to make an action sequence in between this and Die Hard 5. And one of the key things is he learned to keep the goddamn camera still. Yeah, the action in this is better than anything in Die Hard 5. It's really good. So, I mean, that's probably why I've had such a positive reaction to it, because I'm going by a different standard, saying, how does this compare to Die Hard 5? Yeah, this is great compared to that, but objectively on its own, when you compare it without that, yeah, this is just an enjoyable, satisfying movie that you can have fun with. Yeah, sure, it's dumb in parts. It is. And yeah, it's not great. It's by the numbers when you look at other home invasion stuff. But it's absolutely fine. It is. This movie is absolutely fine. And it's if you're looking just like what I did, if you're home alone at night and you're looking for something to watch, you might have got a takeaway, you want to watch something, this is not bad at all. And for the £8 I paid for the DVD, it was a hell of a good time. And like I say, Pierce Brosnan can still go, man. It's always a joy to watch. And like I say, November Man was great. This was so much fun. I'm looking forward to The Foreigner that he's got coming out later this year with Jackie Chan, and then Final Score that he's got coming out at some point this year with Batista, which is essentially Die Hard set in a football stadium. From what I can gather, Pierce Brosnan is Alan Rickman and Dave Bautista's Bruce Willis, so we'll see how that goes down. Um, yeah, so it's just really good to see, great to see Pierce Brosnan in stuff. And I tell you what, he does some really great stuff in this movie. As things goes on and his life starts to fall apart, yeah, he gets pretty intense, which is great to see. Um, yeah, but this was really solid. And some great style displayed in this by John Moore. Props to him. He learned how to make a movie, guys, or showed that he is able to do so. Let's just, do you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say Die Hard 5. He was just, limited. Maybe it was an obligation piece. Or maybe like Fox, because of course, you know, I don't think he was involved in the writing or anything. Fox just probably said, "Here, see what you can do with this." Maybe that's what it was. And of course, having to work with someone like Bruce Willis, who has become such a chore to work with from everything you hear, and just doesn't care, you know, that can make all the difference too. Whereas Pierce Brosnan, he's legitimately happy to be there, and he's happy to do what you need him to do, and he always gives effort, whatever he's in. So yeah, and even just in terms of likability, obviously Bruce Willis back in the day was very likable. He's lost that now, I think, or lost a great deal of his likability. Whereas Pierce Brosnan, he's just kept it. Perhaps become even more so as he's got older. And that's the thing in terms of the action stuff that he does. I mean, I love GoldenEye. And of course, the fight he has at the end of that movie with Sean Bean is fantastic. But even in terms of doing action, I think he's become more legitimate and believable as an action guy as he's gotten older. You know, kind of like that Liam Neeson thing. Because back in the day as well, like Liam Neeson, he didn't really do much in the way of action. Like Phantom Menace, we always talk like the lightsaber stuff. He's pretty lumbering and slow and out, you know, in the stuff he does in Phantom Menace. Whereas now, he's probably in better shape to be wielding a lightsaber now than he was back in 1999. You know, so it's, yeah, in that you can draw some similarities there between Liam Neeson and Pierce Brosnan. They've both gotten better with the action stuff, I think, and more legitimate as they've gotten older. But yeah, this I'm gonna wrap this up. But yeah, I was really surprised at this. Pierce Brosnan's great. The guy that got to play that Ed Porter, he's really good with what they need him to do. Uh, you know, you want to see him get his comeuppance. Great effort by John Moore in this. Great style. A couple of other shout outs. Stephanie Scott, who plays Pierce Brosnan's daughter in this, she's really good. Really liked her in Insidious 3. She's really good here. And Michael Nyqvist is in a supporting role. He comes in with about as we get towards the back end of the film. He's in it for about 20 minutes. He's great. Love Michael Nyqvist. He's really good. But yeah, this was surprising, and you know, I think it's pretty low budget, this movie. You know, but for what they had, it doesn't feel low budget at all. They do a lot, but they do keep it pretty simple and straightforward. You know, sometimes when you hear the phrase like high tech thriller, you think, okay, is this gonna get like too much to follow, like for the average person? But they keep everything like pretty vague and pretty simple. They don't get, you know, delve like you into like hacker talk too much. So it won't like alienate anyone who doesn't like uh you know, isn't a tech expert. It's pretty accessible, and like I say, it's only on for 90 minutes, so it's a fun way to kill 90 minutes. Just sit down, get a takeaway, and switch your brain off for 90 minutes, and just have fun with it. You know, don't take it too seriously because you know, you can tell it doesn't take itself too seriously. Um, but yeah, there's some really effective and stuff in this, and it's pretty stylish and great effort from Pierce Brosnan, man. Great effort from everyone involved. So that brings this to a close. Phone's ringing, I've timed that right. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.